intro. Don't suck.
That car guy, Eddie?
That's right.
Hey everybody, my name's Eric. I'm here with that car guy, Eddie.
Hey!
And we're trying something new today. I am his brother. I am going to talk to him about his fetish, as I put it, for buying and selling cars. This man has countless times got new cars. How many are you at now, total?
Mid-60s, probably.
Mid-60s of vehicles. Not just cars, trucks, motorcycles, off-road vehicles, whatever you can think of. He just does this, and he's been doing this since he was, what, 18?
Yeah, 18.
And, you know, you're close to 40 now. So you could just imagine, if it's that many cars, how often he does it per year. It's pretty impressive. I don't know what the fuck he does with his finances. I'd really like to know. But, so, all right, that car guy, Eddie.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. I mean, like, the mindset that you have when it comes to vehicles. What is your passion for vehicles? Because you're that car guy. What is that?
You know, I think it started with that passion for anything with a motor, to be honest with you. So ever since I was little, I've loved playing cars, right? Like, I think one of my oldest memories is playing Micro Machines with you when I was a little kid. And I loved playing with cars, and I loved car movies and Back to the Future with the DeLorean, right?
Oh yeah, he was obsessed with Back to the Future. He would say, "I'm gonna go get my." He would be literally, "I'm gonna go get my DeLorean and fly around." He was obsessed with it. It was great. It was great. I wish I had videos of that shit. Right?
I will own a DeLorean one day.
Yes.
I will own. I mean, I'll overpay for it, but
Oh.
I will own it. I almost had one. One time.
Mm-hmm.
Almost bought it from the neighbor across the street, Gail.
Well, okay, so a little bit about the DeLorean. The DeLorean is actually a shitty car when it comes to speed and everything.
Don't tell me that.
It
Don't
is-
tell me that.
It is shitty. I have looked at countless reviews on the DeLorean, and as far as performance go, but the cool factor is there.
Yeah, it's not
The
good.
cool factor.
It's not good. It's actually powered by like a 2.5 liter Volvo motor. That, have you ever seen one of those Volvos from like the 80s, those square station wagon ones?
Mhm.
It's the same motor that's in that.
Yeah.
It was a horrible motor. The cars were horrendously unreliable, and it was heavy, super heavy. So I mean, the performance wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, okay, so tell me a little bit about what is your mindset walking in? You already have a car
Yeah.
that you have a payment on. You're walking into the dealership because you, for some fucked up reason that I don't know, are tired of the car that you have,
It's
and you want to go get it.
Yeah.
Get something else.
Mhm.
Explain that mindset going into the dealership.
So it's not just walking into the dealership. There's a lot of what happens on the front end prior to going to the dealership. In fact, the dealership is really the last place you go, and it's to go get the car. It all starts with what do you want and what can you get? So the thing is, when you buy and you sell cars, it's not about what you want. You could get in close to what you want, but you'll never be able to say, hey, look, I want this red convertible, blah, 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 blah. Because most of the time, you're having to hide negative equity and roll one car information over to the next. You have to use rebates to kind of mess with that. So there's a lot of work that goes on the front end of it. The very first step when you're decided, hey, look, you want a new vehicle, is you need to decide what kind of vehicle do you want. Car, truck, SUV. That's step one, right?
Okay.
And then what you want to do is you want to factor that down by make. Makes it a lot easier. Do I want a Dodge product? Do I want a Ford product? Do I want a Chevy product? Do I want a GMC? And the
Or
reason
do you want a foreign product?
Yeah.
Do you want a German-made car? Do you want to?
exactly, and I've done that too. And
Yeah.
and the reason why you have to funnel it down is because where you spend 90% of your time in your car is inside, right? And all of these car manufacturers, the inside of them all look very similar. The controls are the same, the infotainment system's the same. One Hyundai is the next to the next Hyundai, so they're all close.
Yeah.
So you have to determine what manufacturer you want, and then you start to go on.
But that's something that you would do just if you're going to buy a car in general. I'm talking about this intense urge to keep getting new cars. What is it? Is it boredom? Is it OCD? Is it some sort of? I mean, Self-analysis. I'm looking. This guy's he's fucking nuts.
I'm sure I have a problem. I'm sure it's some like obsession. It's an addiction.
That's what it sounds like.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the
That's what it
rush.
sounds like.
It's the rush of having a new vehicle is really what it is. You know that your car. Remember when it's new? How excited you were when you got that?
And now I don't give a shit.
Now do that every 6 months.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the rush, it's the high. You know, when you first get your car, you keep it clean, you keep the inside clean, it smells good, you drive it, when you walk up to it, you look at it, yeah, this is my car. And then over time that slowly fades away. And it's
That's the same reason why I've been married 4 times.
Not wrong. Not wrong. But yeah, I mean, I think it does come down to my addictive personality a little bit. It gives me pleasure to have the new cars, which is nice. And honestly, it's the quest to find something perfect.
Well, okay, the quest. What is? Can you think of? Now you've done it so many times, and I'm assuming you remember every time you did. Mm-hmm. What was the funnest car buying experience you've ever had? And what was the car? And what was the reason for buying it? What if you could remember one time in particular that really stands out? Because you've done it countless times. You've obviously had some times where it was really enjoyable and fun, and other times where, like every time I buy a car, I feel like I got punched right in the fucking gut.
Yeah.
Anytime I ever signed for anything expensive, whether I bought a house or a car, it feels like I got just clobbered. I feel terrible. But you did that shit.
Yeah.
Which I don't get.
It's not always the dealership experience too. Like when I very first started doing this, I was buying and selling cars privately, you know? Mm-hmm. And what really kicked me over to the dealership of buying nice cars was a series of having bad, crappy cars. I've come to the conclusion most people drive the hell out of their cars, don't maintain them, and then sell them, and you inherit their problems when you buy a car. You have no idea.
That
right?
goes without saying.
So I think the deal doesn't bug me, the signing, the money doesn't bug me. It's also the battle, what I want. I'll tell you the funnest one, and it's easy when you ask me that question because I know, bam, just like that.
Okay, what was the car?
2005 Dodge Magnum RT. Do you remember it? It was a black station wagon we had.
Yeah.
So
my daughter had a little toy that looked exactly like
the Magnum was cool. This would have been 2006, 2007, so because the car was only a couple of years old.
Dodge actually made a station wagon look cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. The Dodge Magnum, and it was a great looking car. And at the time, I had a Dodge SRT4, little neon race car, the blue one.
That was during your Fast and the Furious days.
Yes. And my wife had, my wife had the SRT4, and I had my GTO, my red GTO.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite car that he's had.
And
what year was that? The GTO?
04.
An 04, that thing was gorgeous.
04,
Anyways, go on with your story.
GTO. Anyways, so I had wanted to get away from the GTO because the gas was kind of killing me, and I got a huge ticket in the GTO. I got an exhibition speed ticket,
nice.
which put 2 points on my record, and it labeled me as a street racer because it was a speed contest with myself. I don't know how that works, but it was a speed contest ticket. So I actually got designated a street racer on my insurance. That was like the greatest day of my life. I opened this thing for my insurance and like, your insurance is going up to, $2,300 a year. Reason, street racer. And I was like, yes! Finally, it's happened! I've become street racer. It's official.
That's on your record. That's almost like as bad as being known as a drug seeker.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened was I had the GTO and I went in, and at the time my wife, she really, really liked the Dodge Magnum a lot. And we were racing out at the racetrack, and there was this old guy out there who had a black one, and she loved it. Every time she said, oh my God, I love that car, oh my God, I love that car. Well, I was with my friend, and we just happened to be driving by a dealer, and I saw one, and it was parked up on the thing. It was black, it was an RT, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And I was with my buddy Tommy at the time, and Tommy was like, we should go check that thing out. So we go and we look at it, and it's in good shape. It's got high miles. I think it had like 60,000 miles, and it was 2 years old, so it had high miles. But that means that you could bargain for it.
That means it was probably also a lot of highway driving, which isn't bad.
Right, and it's a saloon. That's a big car. It's designed to go on road trips and stuff. So this is before kids. So I talked to the wife, and the only way it's going to work is if I trade in my GTO. And I'm haggling with this car guy, and this is the dealer guy, he's got a ring on. Looks like a Super Bowl ring, and I'll never forget. it said Chrysler 3-time award winner or something like that. It was this big, it was a car sales ring is what it was. It was a ring for something. He was like this old guy too, man, super old, like with his big freaking Chrysler diamond ring on, you know. And he was trying to lowball me on trading in my GTO, what I owed versus what my car was worth.
Mhm.
And he tried telling me, he goes, well, you know that GTO, because at the time Pontiac had just went out of business. And he's like, well, Pontiac's out of business, and I don't know if you know, but that's just an Australian Carniways. It's called a Monero. And no, it's called a Monaro, not a Monero, it's wrong. But whatever, because he starts telling me about this, and he's talking to me like I don't know the car, and I like tweak out when I buy a car. Like seriously, I have like crazy ass ADHD. When I like buy a car, I obsess about it, find everything I can about it. And he's like, well, you know, there was another manufacturer, I don't know if you know of anybody back in the 80s, it was a DeLorean, and DeLorean made a car, and they discontinued it, and those never gained any kind of value. And I was like, whoa, now you're talking about two cars I didn't know a lot about, right? Mm-hmm. And that was the best car buying experience.
So did you work him?
I worked
as
him.
he tried to work you.
I worked him.
And
we went back.
Did you take the ring? Did you walk out with
I
the ring?
should have walked out.
You should have walked out with
Give me the ring. It's part of the deal.
That's my ring now.
But
yeah.
I'll tell you what happened to that car though. That car ended up having a ton of electrical issues. It overheated. They ended up replacing the heads and the radiator on that car at that dealership. So thank God it had a little bit of warranty left.
So, okay, so you got all these cars, you got all these experiences and everything like that. Is there an end game, like your ultimate car? Your ultimate car, and don't say the DeLorean.
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Is there an end game, or is this something you just want to keep doing for as long as you can?
I like to experience the thrill of having a new car. I really do. But I also like the technology that comes in new cars. I mean, technology now in 2023, where technology was 5 years ago, is night and day difference. I mean, versus 10 years ago. So I just think as cars get smarter, as cars get better, I probably will keep buying new cars. I don't foresee that going away.
See, for me, I like new cars and everything like that. I do have a soft spot for older cars.
Yeah, me too.
Like I had an 84 BMW, and that thing was just like one of my favorite cars I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And I just really like old cars. I had that 88 Crown Vic.
Yeah.
That thing was huge. That thing
sick.
swerved sitting still. So, I mean,
I tell you, I just bought a 626 recently, just like yours, but it was 2-door. Was yours 2-door?
Mine was 2-door.
And it was blue.
Yeah.
$600 I was gonna get it.
Yeah.
For the Road Warrior.
Yeah.
I was gonna get it and give it to you.
I'll tell you what, that car right now is actually considered a rare car.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, so when you think about all the vehicles you have, and you know what, I'm gonna lump it. I'm not gonna lump it all together because you've had off-road vehicles, you've had trucks, you've had cars, and everything like that. Because I'm a car guy, not a truck guy. What was your favorite car that you had, and do you regret not having it anymore?
Man, that's a good question. The problem is that buying a car is buying into the subculture of the car. What I mean by that is sometimes you'll like something because you like the subculture. I'll give you a good example. Harley Davidson, I like the subculture. I like the rides they put together, the people that own them, the subculture that's there.
White trash.
Yes.
Where's your Confederate flag?
there's the other end of the spectrum of that too. But I don't know. Like when I had all my Hondas and stuff, I really enjoyed my street racer phases. But like I said, I think it was just the people, man. I had a good time with my SRT4 people. I have a great time with NorCal.
That's when you used to do street racing and you actually like won trophies and shit like that, right?
No, that was when we used to run from the cops and legally street race.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't, the SRT4 days were after that. When I bought my new car, I didn't want to have a $20,000 car get impounded, so I started racing at the track. That was all the trophies.
Oh, that's all the trophies, okay.
Yeah, that's all the trophies. But, gosh, one car that got away. Okay.
The camera shut off.
Yeah.
Okay, so I asked him a question, you just heard the question. Go ahead and let's hear your answer again.
Okay, so the car that got away, probably my C10. You know, the C10 mom bought for me.
Chevy pickup.
Yeah.
77, 78?
It was an 80 Chevy pickup.
An 80, okay.
Yeah, and knowing what I know now about cars, I should have probably kept it. I took it to get it smogged, and at the time, I'm driving it like an idiot 17-year-old. I was burning through tires, didn't have money to put into it for that. It needed brakes, it needed a starter, it needed a headlight.
This thing was so fucking cool. It had tuck and fold interior.
Yeah.
It had tuck and fold interior, and if you know what that is, you would know how cool it is.
It was like crushed velvet.
Velvet. The dash was velvet.
Yeah.
Everything was velvet. It had little hangy little balls around the top. It was so cool.
Yeah, but it had all kinds of issues, man. It kept getting broken into. People had drilled the driver lock and the passenger lock so you could open it with your finger. It had just, it was not a car for a 17-year-old who needed to put money into it. And at the time, I had no money. So.
And you didn't know how to work on cars.
Exactly, and I didn't know anything, and the internet wasn't a thing. I was moving towards the import scene anyways, and when I ran into the smog issue with everything, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get rid of it. And I sold it to a guy down the street for $500.
Okay, so in regards to your,
It's 30 grand now, by the way.
and you don't want to think about that. In regards to what you have done with the buying and selling cars,
Yeah.
what would be the one thing that you would want to convey to these people here in regards to your behavior and what you do, and if they have an itch to do the same type of thing, what would you want to tell them?
Well, if you have an itch to want to buy and sell cars, I would say chase that itch. Chase your passion is more than anything. I think that people are passionate about many different types of things, and I just happen to be passionate about cars. I feel that as long as you're getting what you want at the time and it's going to make you happy, go get it. It's only money. You're not stuck with it. You're never stuck with a car. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, I bought this and I'm stuck with it. I can't do anything, blah, 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 blah. No, you're not. You just are exploring all of your options. And unfortunately, some people take the time to do it and some people don't. I've worked with some really great car dealers who have helped me, taught me things along the way.
Do your research. More than anything, do your research. What I'm getting from is you need to do your research before you even walk onto that.
Know what you're doing before you even go. Because here's the deal. If you're looking to go buy a car and you walk into a dealer, you have already lost. If you go in there and you don't know what you want, you've already lost. You need to do, and that might be another video that we make, how to properly buy a new car, how to buy a used car, how to shop for a car, how to research the cars. I remember I was talking to Adam about cars, Mechanic Adam, people on the channel know him, and he was like, how do you search when you're searching? Because he was searching all these dealers, these dealer websites, and I was like, you use cars.com. He goes, what? Well, cars.com searches all dealers within a set location for vehicles. So if you want a Volkswagen Arteon, you look Volkswagen Arteon, all dealers within 250 miles, and every dealer, every Arteon will come up. And then you go into the dealer website. That's the little tips and tricks people don't know.
Right.
Because you may not know that there's a dealer 60 miles north of you or 30 miles east of you. So.
Well, okay, so, I mean, I really think this has been a really good conversation. I hope everybody got something out of this.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You have your statement that you're going to do at the end of every video.
Heck yeah!
I want you to perform it for me for these people.
Hey! Bam! Alright, well, as always, like and subscribe to the video for more content. Subscribers definitely help the channel. Really appreciate that. And if you like the content, smash the thumbs up button. And if you don't like the content, smash the thumbs up button anyways. But other than that, follow your dreams, ride hard. See you next time.
There you go. So how long does it take to